What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Shane, and welcome to another podcast here on Five Star Cars. With me, finally, we've gotten the man, Elijah Hemi. It's been a while. We've been trying to set this up. Um,
Right.
it's great to have you on here. I'm delighted you've come on. Thanks
Appreciate it.
very much for taking the time out of your day. So, how have you been doing? How have you been getting on?
I've been doing pretty good, man. I said, and thank you for having me on your channel, man. Any exposure, anything like that is a blessing. So I appreciate you wanting to take the time to interview me. So,
Of course, look, small channels got to stick together, man. I
right.
mean, it's YouTube's a hard graft. It's a very hard place what people understand is just to make good content that everybody else wants to watch.
Right.
And yeah, it's hard. And as you've seen, to even try and collab with people is difficult as
Mm-hmm.
well. You know, so
Yeah, most definitely.
have you like so what ended up kind of you making the decision to start YouTube, and how did it end up kind of grafting towards picking out organic for a collab?
Um, so I originally had a YouTube channel back in 2017, I'd say. Um, but the only problem with that one is I wasn't really consistent and I didn't really have the heart for it at the time. But I always knew that I wanted to do YouTube. So when I got my first muscle car, I had actually got a Dodge Charger IT that I was planning to start a YouTube channel on, and I had that car for a couple months. I actually got in a car accident. So then after that, I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks and going through physical therapy. And after that moment, it kind of made me realize that it's now or never with the YouTube thing. You know what I mean? It's either you're going to start it or you're not going to start it. And so that really catapulted my initial wanting to do my first video. So after I got in an accident with the Charger, I ended up getting the Challenger that I have now. Um, and then from there, I was really into investing in myself and investing in my brand. And I knew one of the ways to kind of catapult, like I said, and get my channel going is to reach out to a bigger YouTuber and try to set up a collab with them. Um, a lot of people say that it was, clout, quote unquote clout chasing and doing it the wrong way, but I didn't look at it as me just trying to steal someone's, subscribers and followers. It was more of I was trying to invest in like I said, invest in myself. And I'm saying it's just like any business. I'm saying if you don't invest in, sometimes take big risks, then you may not ever grow or blow up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree, and that's the thing. You gotta. It's like they say, you gotta put in. If you're making a business, you gotta put money in to get a return on it. And
Right.
sometimes you gamble on some stuff, and it just doesn't work out, which is the risk we all take.
Right,
It's one of
exactly.
those things. And YouTube worlds can be great, and you can end up making some great content, and it can blow up. And other times, it's just as you said in your video. It was a risk you took, and unfortunately, it didn't work out for you. I,
Right.
I I was fucking pissed, you man. I was so when I watched it, I was like, Jesus Christ! If that was me, I don't know how you didn't have the patience or how you had the patience. Um, yeah, I mean, like for you, when you were kind of coming up with the idea to do the collab, it was organic always going to be the top of your list, or was it just did you have a few people picked out?
Um, so it's funny. Organic was probably one of the bigger YouTubers that I reached out to. I reached out to a couple other smaller YouTubers, and I don't know, man. I just think that some people have a complex about themselves, and you try to reach out to them, for help or just like willing to pay ultimately them to be on their channel and get a collab, and people don't respond or they never read your messages and stuff like that. So
Mm,
Organic was actually and it was kind of like one of those, like, have you ever been to the store and you like impulse bought something just
yeah.
because, it was there, but not really doing as much research as you should have done about it. That's kind of what I did on Organic. I had been watching Mr. Organic for, gosh, probably about a year to 6 months,
Okay.
6 months to a year before I had reached out to him. And I really liked who he was on camera. I liked his vision. I really liked his cars. Obviously, like I said in the video, I'm not going to knock anything that he's already doing. Like, I think his cars and the idea that he does with his cars is dope.
Mm,
So, and me being a YouTuber at the time with only 100. 75 or 250 subscribers, I instantly jumped on the train to get on with him.
Mm,
So when he responded, I responded back within 5 minutes, and he said, and like the screenshot said, the first thing he said to me was, yeah, we can do a collab, but it's going to cost money. I There are no objections. I wasn't looking for a free handout. I was looking for an opportunity.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, totally agree. Do you think, would you think there was any signs there beforehand? Because I know such a small YouTuber at the time. But right now, obviously, ice cream has been exposing him left, right, and centre, which he has,
mhm.
in fairness. Do you think there was any signs beforehand that would have set you off for any warning bells? Kind of went, I shouldn't deal with him or pay him this $1,200.
um, well, honestly, like I said, it was one of those things where, now looking at it, I wish I would have, like I said, from a lot of support from my, subscribers and, non-subscribers, a lot of people have said, start a contract, with anybody, you know what I mean?
Mm,
Especially when it comes to something like that, like obviously this podcast and stuff like that, it's not something that's going to trouble me, like where it's necessary to even come up with a contract with. But like, when it
yeah,
comes to a bigger platform, I
yeah,
think it's always good to have that contract. So I think that was my number one mistake, is not setting out in the most specific terms what I expected out of the deal.
yeah.
I thought I was being very clear in my messages. You've seen the messages that I had
Mm,
posted, and I specifically said that I wanted a video where I was going to be posted on his channel, and he said, "Yeah, that sounds good." So I didn't think there was any discrepancy. I didn't think there was any like miscommunication on that part.
mm,
But the only red flag that I had, that I probably should have, like I said, I always do your research, on people and on things. And the second thing is that I should have, as soon as he said his first message to me back is, not even saying, "Hey, thanks for supporting the channel. I
mm.
appreciate you reaching out to me." The first thing he says is, "It's going to cost money." I should have kind of picked up from there, like, oh, okay, this guy,
Mm.
he's not really into it for what he says he is. He's more into it for the money, and he's probably looking just to make a quick dollar off of me, which, he rightfully did. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess if you're a business person, I do, but at the same time, when you're a small channel starting out, um, like I think when I read the messages, it really kind of came across as like, I'm in maybe in his age, I'm a massive, massive channel. I'm kind of a bit gracious to kind of maybe say, yeah, I'm paying me 1,200 or $1,200, and then obviously you have to drive 6 hours, man. Like that's for
yeah,
living in Ireland. That's like driving nearly the full length of Ireland to go and do a
right,
collab. That's
right.
that's a long fucking drive, and I applaud you for doing this. But when you got there, and he obviously he came down. I mean, what was going through your head when he? I know you said it in the video already, but like, what was going through your head when he jumped into the car and it was like, ah,
um, I mean, like I said, I think I was more starstruck than anything. Like I said, it's like
mm,
meeting a celebrity. You kind of lose your consciousness in a sense, and you're like, man, I'm really in the same vicinity, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like
mm,
I praised him as a god or anything like that, but
yeah,
coming, we're both small YouTubers. Imagine if you have a YouTuber that has inspired you to do YouTube, or a YouTuber that is in a place where you want to be at,
yeah,
and you are finally in that same area. You kind of go into la la land, you know what I mean? So at first, I should have, like, there are so many red flags in that specific instance that,
mm,
like I said, going back, one thing is that I should have never paid the man before I met him.
right, yeah.
Um, One of his things is he said that he needs a down payment to make sure that I'm serious about it. Um,
And that should be the opposite way around.
it really was the opposite way around. But like I said, I figured that, like I said, because I actually, aside from YouTube, I work for a bank, so I know how like the claims process work and stuff. So I know if anything went wrong and he like dipped out and didn't want to do the collab with me, I knew I could get my money back. I knew that,
Yeah,
if it had to eventually go to court, I would win that court case fair and square.
yeah,
Um, there would be no ifs, ands, buts about it. But like I said, I took that leap of faith. But I paid him before. What I should have did is I told him, hey, I'm dead serious about this. And the thing is, like, it wasn't just I didn't go out to California at the time just to spend time with him. I have my brother lives out there, my little brother. So I spent most of the time out there actually spending time with my brother. Um, but when I got out there, what I'm saying, I should have kind of like made it more clear, like, hey, I'm willing to pay you, and I have the money. It's all here. I just want to confirm that once when we get there, we're on the same page, and I'll pay you cash when I get there. You know what I'm saying? That was my one of my biggest mistakes. But obviously, when I saw him, I got in the car. I was so starstruck. Like I said, we're right by the Staples Center, um, the Lakers Staples Center. He lives in a really nice apartment complex, and it's high end. Like you
Mhm.
drive into like there's a garage underneath his apartment complex. I don't want to say what apartment obviously
Yeah, of course,
but
yeah.
it's a really nice apartment complex, and then underneath there's a garage that's closed off to the public. You go in and you see Maseratis and BMWs and Jeep Gladiators. You see all these nice cars and stuff, and I'm just like, man, this is crazy.
Mm.
um so he hopped in my car, and he didn't have any camera or anything like that. And the first thing he said was, oh, I didn't bring my camera because my cameraman's not here. And I was kind of thinking like, I've never really seen Mr. Organic with the cameraman, but I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever. I'll take his word for it. He has no reason to lie to me at this point. So I was like, cool. But he's like, what we can do is because Mr. Organic, I live in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona,
Mhm.
and his mother, Mr. Organic's mother, lives out here in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
So he told me specifically in the car, he said, hey, I don't have my camera and stuff right now. However, what we can do is we can shoot a video for your channel. You know you and we'll you use that video for your channel, so you can get something out of this experience just for now. And then when I come out to Phoenix later, like
Mhm.
in a couple weeks or so, we'll do the actual video where I post you on my channel.
Yeah, okay. Which
So that
which would be fair at the time, obviously would be, yeah,
Right,
no problem.
right. And like I said, since I already drove out, like you had mentioned, driven out 6 hours just to meet the guy, I need something, to post on my channel. Especially when I'm telling my subscribers, I'm hyping up that I'm meeting this big YouTuber. I have to post something, you know what I mean? Um, so like I said, he got in the car, he said, hey, let's do this video for your channel, and then later on we'll do the video for your channel. I said, okay, cool, sounds good. So that's why you saw originally on my channel that there were two videos that I had posted with him.
Mhm.
The first video was, kind of giving him an introduction about him and his lifestyle, his brand, and whatever the case may be. And then the second video was more of like that drive around, getting game for Mr. Organic and stuff like that. And it was really more of like a self promotion tool for him. I mean, for the people that before I privated the video, I got a lot of hate, man, on that video. I got a lot of hate.
And
Um,
just sorry to cut you off, just so people know, like it's not like us trying to hate on him. It's just basically if you're going to be a business and be in the public eye, it's not nice to do something like that. And it's not trying to hate on him. It's not being haters. Like
right.
ice cream gets called a hater. I have. It's not. It's you're just giving your side of what happened and why not to collab with him or why you wouldn't collab with him again. That's all it is. You know.
Exactly. And to kind of go off what you said, I specifically said in the video when I made it about, excuse me, my experience with Mr. Organic, it was literally a product review, a business review.
Yeah.
I paid for a service. I paid for, a product that I didn't ultimately get. So I made just like any other customer would do, like on Amazon.
Mm.
When a customer is dissatisfied with the service or a product, and they go on Google and they type, how their experience was, no one calls them a hater for that. But all of a sudden I'm a hater and I'm a clout chaser now because I told the truth. You know what I mean? And I don't gain anything off of lying off of somebody. That's why I posted, facts. I posted screenshots because I didn't want anybody to consider me a liar. But I also didn't, I wanted people to take this as a learning experience from not only me, but for their future interactions with this man. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
even said in my video, like I said, I don't hate him. I don't care. I wish nothing but the best for him. But I said specifically to everybody, just make sure you're careful with your interactions with him and make sure you get everything documented. That, make sure you get everything documented. Um, but yeah, man, it was crazy. Like I said, I posted originally two videos of
Mhm.
my experience with Mr. Organic. The original two videos. One was me taking videos of his cars, of his Corvette, at the Corvette, the Hellcat, the Hellcat Charger, and the Rolls Royce Wraith.
Okay.
That was the original first video, and the second video, like I said, was me driving around. Was He was driving around in his Hellcat, and I was kind of like sitting passenger, listening to what he had to say, and that's where the first ice cream video came out, where everybody was calling me the yes man, yes sir,
Okay.
and everybody hated on me for that and stuff like that, and they're like, oh man, basically, you're one of his groupies, in a sense. And I'm like, no, that's not how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say yes,
Mhm.
sir, because I'm raised by Southern culture.
Yeah.
We say yes, sir, to any age group, any man. You know what I mean? I say yes, sir, to little. I coach football. My little 8 to 10 years old, I coach. I say yes, sir, to them, but it's all out of respect. It has nothing to do with me thinking of him as a higher power or some type of authority. It's just
Yeah.
how I was raised.
Yeah. Of
Um,
course. Yeah.
so then, like I said, so we actually shot. It was one take, and it was, I think, 30 to 36 minutes long. And I was
Mhm.
actually just going to post one 36-minute long video with me and Mr. Organic. Like I said, I'm new to YouTube at the time. I didn't understand analytics and watch time and all that stuff. Um, but he was the one that told me specifically, he said, hey, a little free game, take those two videos and split them into two. So now you have two videos instead of posting one long 40-minute video that people are most likely not going to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I took his advice. Posted two videos, and then after, like I said, we're done recording and stuff like that. After he'd driven his car and my car, kind of did his little review. He said, "Hey, was that all you wanted and stuff like that?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, for now, that's all I want." You know what I'm saying? That's all. Specifically, since you had told me, later on we're gonna do a different video. For the moment, that's all I wanted. So I'm like, yeah, okay, this is perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna post this, and I was pretty happy with it. And like I said, I was still a fan of his channel.
Mm.
So what I had done after that is I had went and bought some of his merch. I think $75. I think I got two T-shirts and something else that I don't remember. But like I said, I did it out of support for the man that I'm saying. Ultimately, he did me a favor. He didn't have to accept my money or put me on his quote unquote put me on his channel anyway. So I just wanted like I said, I'm a fan of his, and I'm saying I wanted merch months ago, but I didn't want to pay shipping. So I'm in person. I'll get some merch.
Did he give you? You bought merch off him? Did he give you merch on top of doing the video for free or anything like that? Or
No, he didn't. He didn't give me anything for free. He
okay.
everything that I had got from him at the time, I had paid for,
Okay.
and uh, I think he later had mentioned that he gave me some type of discount on the merch and stuff like that, or he was trying to insinuate or diss me because I bought merch from him, and I'm like, I don't even get what that's
Come on,
for.
like we have to admit here, like we've already seen. I don't know if you've seen the video that Ice Cream made about the merch situation with him, inflating the price by
Yep,
a ridiculous
yep,
fucking amount. I mean, that's just insanity. There's a business and then there's pure greed. And
yep,
obviously, you're being a supporter, and I think people are saying there's supporters and people that are just fans.
right,
And Julian, obviously, from your point of view, like you're a supporter, and I feel as well, like in your situation as well, he should have been more appreciative to the fact, we bought his merch, and to be, for me, if it was me in that situation, I'd be like, thanks very much. Here's a free hat or something, and for coming all the way out, and
right,
anything else I can do for you or any other video ideas. I mean, it just doesn't bode well for his channel, I feel. And after this all coming out, and I know it's not hate. That's what people have to understand. As you said,
right,
it's a product, and he is to me a car channel. you get your views from having the cars, and if your views are failing, and you're kind of doing this kind of stuff, it's a recipe for disaster, and it's not fair on you. We're
Right.
even smaller YouTuber, and him saying how to be a business and having his all that kind of stuff being done. It doesn't reflect well on him when you being a small channel trying to be a business and trying to make obviously subs and get revenue and stuff like that. To do this to me is just it's a no go, and
Right.
I commend you for not screaming at the screen when you made that video and be like you fuckers,
Yeah, right,
so
right.
yeah, so I totally get that, and I mean you've been very humble about it for what he's done. Um, and I mean, like, what did you kind of come away from that? So how in total time, how long did you spend with Organic that whole day?
Uh, yeah, it's such a blur, but I remember we were supposed to originally meet at I think noon at the time, LA time. Um, we were supposed to meet at noon, but then something had happened, so then I ended up meeting him a little bit later around 2:30. And then I think I spent a total of like we spent about 15, 20 minutes kind of like talking and prepping before the video. We spent about an hour and some change actually shooting the video, and then afterwards we spent another like probably 20, 30, 35 minutes, talking just in general. Like I said, and it's funny because he had mentioned that on his on one of his I think he made a post about it saying like after the video I was acting really weird and stuff like that. But like I'm very transparent. What I exactly said to Mr. Organic after the video was I said, hey, I appreciate you for doing this with me, man. It really means a lot to me. And I said, just understand. And I told him just like this. I said, just understand the impact you have on people, and understand the impact that you have on like me. With if it, and I told him if it weren't for you, I probably wouldn't have started YouTube.
Mm,
Um, and that's really true. What I'm saying I didn't want to be Mr. Organic, but I wanted what Mr. Organic had. You know what I mean? I wanted his fame in a sense, but I didn't want his lifestyle.
yeah, yeah, I
So
understand.
that was the whole thing, and it's crazy. So I know this is your show, but let me just ask you
Yeah,
one question.
sure, yeah, yeah.
So Mr. Organic had mentioned and said that I paid $1,500 for a collab.
Mhm.
So from the idea of anybody, if I'm paying somebody else for a collab,
Mhm.
what are you just naturally expecting out of that? Like, let's say, you said, hey, I want to pay you for a collaboration. What are you expecting out of that?
Yeah, if I was if you're paying me the collaboration, I'm paying you.
You're paying me to get a
Okay,
collaboration.
I mean, obviously, I would like to structure it in a way first where we both know that we're clear what we're getting.
Right.
That like say, obviously, I want it on their channel. That's the main thing for me is it's on your channel because it gives me the exposure. You just give a link to my channel below, and we hang out. We basically just talk about cars. We show the cars.
Mm-hmm.
Just basically what ideas we can come up to do with the cars that would be, happy with that person, or what cars, or even like, what cars you give me to show. And basically, we can have a chat about my channel, or you give me tips about how you did well in your channel.
Exactly.
What you feel would work, for me as well, like where I'm coming from. Stuff like that. I mean, I suppose on the spot it's kind of hard. I'd be more thoughtful of it if I had time to think about it. I suppose
Mm-hmm.
it depends on the channel as well. What like if it was Stradman, it'd be obviously a bit different because you'd be saying, "Oh, I want content with the Bugatti, but can we try and fit it in the Aventador or something like that?"
Right.
And do some flybys and try and make it as best as you can, but within the limits of what they can give you as well.
Right.
And be realistic.
Right,
So.
right. So like, and one of the main points that I was gonna bring up and you hit it right on the nail is which what doesn't logically make sense to me. If I'm paying a bigger YouTuber for a collaboration, it is obvious that I want to pay. I'm paying to get featured on your channel. That is the main and only point. If that were the case, if I just wanted some free content for Mr. Organic, I would have driven to LA. I would have driven to the Staples Center without asking him or knowing him, waited for him to pull out of his his apartment complex, and then just coincidentally been vlogging and been like, "Hey, Mr. Organic, you want to be in my vlog?"
Yeah,
That I could have done that for free. But no, I specifically paid you for something, and now after the fact of after when I put out my product review video, you want to kind of renege on what you said and say, "Oh no, he paid for a collaboration." Yes, obviously I paid for a collaboration, but I paid it for a collaboration with you
yeah,
on your channel. Obviously, I could do a collaboration with another small YouTuber out here. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So the thing that he had said was that it wasn't mutually beneficial for him. I don't know how the hell it wasn't mutually beneficial for you. If I'm paying you $1,500, it's hella beneficial for you at that point. I can see if I was just coming on for free and I asked you, hey, like, hey, can you post me on your channel? Then obviously there's no benefit because I'm not a big enough YouTuber to make an impact on your channel like that.
yeah, yeah,
And unless you turn into like some sympathy type thing, and then obviously people will gravitate towards that. But if someone pays you a substantial amount of money, now it's beneficial to you because they're paying you.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I totally get you. Like, where do you think his channel is going to go, or do you still watch him, or where do you think he's going to end up going, or what do you think is going to happen?
um to be completely honest, I don't watch him anymore. I see videos like on the YouTube, like your featured page and stuff like that. Like sometimes his videos pop up. I'm no longer a subscriber, and that's just based off of my personal interaction with him.
Yeah,
If anybody else wants to subscribe to him, I say go ahead. You know what I mean? And like I said, I don't mean it as a diss or anything like that. I don't care for the man. Obviously, why would I?
yeah,
Where do I see his channel going? Um, I don't know. That is, I think he tries to emulate what Tall Guy does.
mhm,
And it shows heavily because Tall Guy will get something new or post something, and then Mr. Organic just simultaneously posts the same video the same day or the
yeah,
day
yeah,
after with the same title, and then he puts Tall Guy reviews in the title so that
mhm,
he gets people to look at that video.
yeah,
Um, and like I said, I'm like I said, I'm very transparent, and I don't go back on anything that I said. I said in one of my videos after he made his video about me, but he didn't specifically say my name. He was kind of talking about me in third person. I had made another video like in direct, line with that video saying like, hey, I'm not sitting here talking bad about your character. I'm sitting here talking about how you conduct business, which I have proof on. And I mentioned and I had said, how do you claim that you're this big YouTuber? How do you on the fast track to fame? You were when I had first reached out to you, you were at 300,000 subscribers on YouTube, and then after just so happens after I post my exposure video, you know what I mean, you drop like 40, 50K subscribers, and now months after that, you're sitting at barely 210,000 subscribers.
mhm,
That's the downward trend. That's where you don't want to be in the YouTube industry. You don't want to lose 100,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
like I said, I told my subscribers in the video, I said, look at his channel. Look at how many subscribers he has on his YouTube channel, and look how many he claims to have in his Instagram bio. And I showed. The funny thing is, I showed my brother, and I said, how is he still claiming 300 plus thousand subscribers on in Instagram, but on YouTube you barely have 215?
yeah,
You know what I
yeah. I
mean?
agree.
So, like
Yeah,
I said, it's not me talking ish or anything like that. It's just me talking straight facts and the analytics and the business side of it. And if I'm looking at it from an investment standpoint, I probably if I'm an investor, and I didn't have any personal ties with Mr. Organic, and I'm looking at his channel and his numbers, I probably would not invest in that channel, only
yeah,
because I don't see any growth. And you kind of see it in his videos. Like I said, he one thing that he ripped me for was for trying to steal. his name and using his name for clout. And I was like, how the hell do you rip me for that? But you do that every single day in one of your
Yeah,
videos.
Jesus, he's some fucking idiot for saying that, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
god.
was like, and it's funny because he made a post saying that, and then his subscribers ripped him for saying it, saying like, how do you get on him? He's a smaller YouTuber. Obviously, he's gonna do it, but how do you condemn him for
Yeah,
the same thing that you're doing? 75% of your videos, the titles have tall guy car reviews in it. Anytime that he made a response video to me, who did he have in the car with him? Tall guy car reviews. He
yeah,
can't do anything on his own, so obviously he needs tall guy support because tall guy has a million subscribers basically. You know what I mean? And so I don't know, like I said, and you kind of see in his channel too, he's kind of transitioning his channel to kind of how I wanted my channel to be in the first place. I love cars and I will always do car content, but I've kind of migrated and started doing my own content just because I want to do what makes, what's fun for me and what makes me want to get up every day and do YouTube.
yeah,
Um, and you can kind of see like he tries to posting like shoe videos or jewelry videos, and those videos honestly don't do as well as his car
yeah,
videos.
of course,
So
yeah.
to answer your original question, sorry I went off on a tangent.
Clarify.
Where do I see Mr. Organic channel going? Like I said, I hope the best for him. I don't want him to lose any sponsorships. I don't care about what he gains or what he loses. I don't want anyone to lose. You know what I mean? It's crazy. As bad as the situation is for me and how a lot of people say like, oh, I would have showed up to him and shot him. I'm like, that's not how I roll. You know what I mean? I feel like karma will work so good. And
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Last two questions. Who are your top five car channels that you feel are the best, and what is the plans for your channel going forward in car content, or what kind of way do you want to work your channel in?
So the top car channels that I definitely like is Tall Guy. I definitely respect Tall Guy. Like I said, I like Tall Guy's content. I don't have any personal beef or anything like that with him.
Yeah,
I think he's still a solid guy. You know what I mean? Tall Guy. I like TJ Millionaire. I like that he has cars, but he also has a business side of it. I listen and I try to follow some of his teachings and stuff like that. Um, there's another YouTuber. His name is Stang Mode. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
no,
I think he's sitting around 150 some thousand subscribers. But he's a Mustang channel and he's a Ford guy and he's always at the drag strip with his Mustang. I really love the modifications that he does and I just like his content. Um, Another one is I don't know if you've ever heard of Life of Corey.
yes, I've heard him. Oh, obviously, I've only heard him because of Organic. So,
Right, right.
so
So I like Life of Corey too. He's a pretty cool guy. I like his you like I said, he has a southern expression in how he customizes his cars.
yeah,
And like I said, I'm from the south, southeastern part of the United States, so I relate to that type of content. Um, and lastly, I like SRT Bree. I like
okay,
I like how she is kind of like the underdog in the situation because you don't not to be sexist or anything, but you don't usually see a lot of women
yeah,
on YouTube doing car videos.
yeah, yeah.
So I like how she kind of it breaks that narrative, and she's driving a nice, she drives the Hellcat. She does burnouts. She goes to meets, and I think she races a little bit too. So I like how she breaks the narrative, and I liked how she exponentially blew up her channel in literally 2 months. She went from
Yeah.
like 50,000 subscribers to like, oh, I think over 100,000 in or a month or two. So I salute to her. So
That's great. Yeah,
um
that's definitely. And what's your channel like? What's your plans going forward, or what you have in pipe works?
so the Pipeworks for right now it's just kind of learning the YouTube game. Like you said in the beginning, YouTube is so hard to understand. So learning the YouTube game and being more consistent, I think that was one of the biggest things that I had is I didn't understand that, I didn't really correlate that consistency brings views and attention. And, so that's one thing I'm really focusing on. But overall, once I reach, my ideal goal of where I'll start to be, more happy with the subscribers that I have, I think once after about 50 to 100,000 subscribers, I think I'll start, branching off my channel and, like I'm naturally like a leader and like a teacher and a provider in a sense. So like I love providing content that people can never forget.
Yeah,
Giving them lessons that they can never forget. And once I get, big enough on my platform, I don't plan on posting every day. I plan on posting maybe 2, 3 times a week so that my content is more valuable.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, people are looking for Life of Hemi E to post his content. Will I strictly do car content? No. Like I said, because I have other passions in life, and I think I have a good enough character and personality to where people will gravitate uh to me regardless of kind of what I put
yeah,
out. But I will always still put out car content because that's where my channel was based off of. I still love cars to death. One of my favorite things to do is, to go to my brother's room and we talk about cars for hours. What we
yeah.
would do with this car, what modifications. So what I'll do with my channel is, I'll post card content, but then I'll also post a mixture of other things that intrigue me and I think will intrigue other people. And another thing that I want to do is when I get bigger and manifesting the power when I get bigger is giving back. I think that's one thing a lot of YouTubers forget to do is give
Yeah,
back to
yeah,
those who give you everything that you literally have.
yeah.
So one thing I want to do is I want to definitely do like scholarship giveaways to students in need, giving back to communities, food banks, anything that really just shows my appreciation and my gratitude for people that support me.
Brilliant.
So,
Excellent. Excellent. Now we're out of time anyway, so while you do it, guys, his channel is down below in the description. I highly recommend checking out even the video about organic. But I want you to go out and check out his channel, subscribe, help the guy get. I guarantee you, I hope the best as well for your channel, and I hope you blow up and you prove organic wrong and it hits ground. So thanks a million for coming on. Honestly, it means a lot. For
of
me as
course, man,
well.
anytime.
So. Obviously, as you get bigger, we'll have to try and do follow up sometime as well, and
Right.
have you back in the channel. So, yeah, thanks very much, Elijah. We'll put it out there, and guys, again, channel below in the description. This is what we want to do here is more of a chat channel. We're not news, so. Uh, but yeah, I think we'll leave it there. And again, thanks very much for coming on. And
Of
until the next
course.
episode, guys, stay safe, peace out, and keep it lit.
See ya.